Hello everyone, welcome to the Daily Current Affairs Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy, 1st February 2026. Before getting into the discussion, please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't, please do subscribe and also hit the bell icon to receive on-time updates from the Academy. So coming to the topics for today's discussion, the first topic is Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. So we can see that, recently the Ministry of Food Processing Industry, they announced the status of the projects they implemented in 2025. So the Ministry of Food Processing Industries, they announced around 1,600 plus projects in 2025, and now they have released a report regarding the status of the projects. And the second article is regarding the Discombobulator. So the Discombobulator is a mysterious weapon used by the US government while invading the Venezuela to extract the Venezuelan president, Mr. Maduro. And we will be discussing what is this Discombobulator and how it will act in the war zone area. And the next is the European Securities and Markets Authority. So recently we know that the India and the European Union concluded a free trade agreement, and here in this during this time the Reserve Bank of India concluded a memorandum of understanding with the European Securities and Markets Authority. So we will be discussing what is this institution. And the next article is the main article. It is regarding the menstrual hygiene, a fundamental right. So recently, that is on 30th January, the Supreme Court of India, through a continuing mandamus, said that the menstrual hygiene is a fundamental right. So we'll be discussing it is in the it from the main point of view, and finally we will be discussing the prelims focus for the day. If all set, let's begin the discussion with the first article. Projects approved under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. The article is taken from Press Information Bureau. So this article is regarding a report published by the Ministry of Food Processing Industries. What is this report? The report is regarding the status of the projects implemented under the central sector scheme, that is the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, in the year of 2025. So in the year of 2025, the ministry announced nearly 1,607 projects under the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, and out of this, nearly 1,196 projects are completed, and you can see that nearly 411 projects are in development and under various stages. So in this background, let us discuss more about the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. So it's a central sector scheme. That means 100% funding is from the union government. The central government will be providing 100% funding. So what is the objective? The objective is modernizing, improving the efficiency of the supply chain from farm to retail outlet. That means improving the efficiency and modernizing the entire supply chain management system. And the next is the initiative was initially known as Sampada, but later it was renamed as Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, and it was launched in 2017. And the nodal Ministry of Food Processing Industries. So talking about the objectives, what are the objectives? The first objective is promoting the growth of food processing sector. Okay, promoting the growth of food processing sector. What are the primary focuses? What can be done? Providing credit, infrastructure development, training, skill development, that will be coming under the training only. So these are the major initiatives for the promotion of the food processing sector under the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. Better returns for the farmers. How? Because the value addition will provide more returns, more income to the farmers, reducing wastage of the agricultural produce. How? Because if we can process the food or the produce at the source, then the wastage will be reduced. Employment creation, especially in the rural area. So we can see that recently the Yadagiri Sila Parishad in the state of Karnataka, with the help of these local self-help group, they established micro food processing units across the districts, right? And that was under the Atmanirbhar Bharat. And this Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana is nothing but it is one of the pillars towards the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Okay, and the next is the increasing processing levels and enhancing the exports of the processed foods, because we can see that the processed foods has more opportunities in the market, especially for the Indian products. We have great scope in the market of European Union and also the Southeast Asian countries. And what are the features of this scheme? The first is demand driven. So we can see that the initiative is not limited to a particular state or a product. And the next is financial support. So the 100% funding is from the central government, and we can see that the fund will be provided in the form of grant in aid, subsidy for setting up of the food processing units. And next is the investment. So this no, the initiative is focusing on improving or promoting investments on both on-farm and off-farm preservation and processing infrastructure. So it is focusing on both on-farm and off-farm technology to improve the supply chain management. And the next is a capacity building. So we have the Pradhan Mantri formalization of micro food enterprises. So it is the it is also implemented by the Ministry of Food Processing Industries, and it is a centrally sponsored scheme. It is not a central sector scheme, it is a centrally sponsored scheme. And through this platform we are providing training, capacity building to the beneficiaries. And next, finally, the research. And we have support from various prestigious institutions like Indian Council for Agriculture Research, and we have a support from the National Institute for Food Technology, Food Processing Industries, the National Institute for Food Technology. So with the support of such institutions, we are investing more on research and development to maintain the sustainability of the objectives of the Kisan Sampada Yojana. And talking about the sub schemes implemented under the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. What are the sub schemes? Establishment of mega food parks, integrated cold chain and value addition infrastructure, creation or expansion of food processing or preservation capabilities, infrastructure for agro-processing clusters, creation of backward and forward linkages, food safety and quality assurance infrastructure, human resource and institutions, and also Operation Greens. So these are the some of the important sub schemes implemented under the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. And note that since this Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana is a central sector scheme, for the sub schemes also the initiative, the scheme will be providing financial assistance. And coming to the prelims practice question, the question is with reference to Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, consider the following statements. So we are asking for the correct statements. So the statement 1, it is a central sector scheme implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. No, it is implemented by the Ministry of Food Processing Industries. So the statement 1 is correct. So we can eliminate option A and option C. And the second statement, it aims to provide 100% financial grant to the private entrepreneurs for setting up mega food parks across all states. See, this will be providing grant in aid, okay, and it will be providing subsidy also, but not 100%. It is the scheme is 100% funded by the central government, and the central government will be supporting the sub schemes also. But for a particular project, for a particular entrepreneur, the scheme will not provide 100% financial grant. Okay, so the statement 1 is the 2 is incorrect. So the correct answer will be option D, neither 1 nor 2. Let's check. With this, we will move to the next article. The Discombobulator, the weapon system that the US likely used in the Venezuela strike. The article is taken from Indian Express. So many of us have heard about the term Discombobulator or discombobulation for the first time from Robert Downey's character, right? That Sherlock Holmes. So in that film, there's a dialogue that let's discombobulate. What is mean by this discombobulation? Discombobulate or discombobulation refers to a state of confusion. So why we are talking about discombobulation now? Because we are suspecting that during the US strike in Venezuela on January 3rd, the US government or the US military used a mysterious weapon called a discombobulator to discombobulate the defense system of the Venezuela. That means to create a confusion in the Venezuelan defense system. And recently, the President of United States of America, that is Mr. Donald Trump, he also confirmed that they used a sonic weapon during the time of the Venezuelan strike. Okay, so in this background, let us discuss more about this discombobulator, the mysterious weapon the US government used during the Venezuelan strike. So it is a US weapon system designed to disable the enemy defense and also to disorient the personnel, the defense, that means the opponent. And this weapon system is used for stealth operation. So we can see that the extraction of the Venezuelan president, the entire operation was completed in a span of nearly, that means the extraction alone took only 30 minutes, and the entire operation, the operation absolute resolve took only 4 to 5 hours, including the ground level work, planning, everything. Okay, and this system is developed by the United States of America. So we are suspecting that this weapon system is a combination of electronic warfare, sonic or directed energy, and non-lethal or disorientation tools. And what are the features? The first is electronic neutralization. That means a pulse modulated high power microwave from this weapon will disable the electronics without any physical destruction. That means when we look from the outside, the weapon system or the defense system will not show any symptom, but this defense system has a capacity to destroy the function of the weapon, the defense system, without destroying the system from the outer side. And the next is directed energy effect. So the discombobulator will be using high intensity acoustic or sonic wave, not that it is using sonic wave to disorient the opponent. And the microwave auditory effect. So this will induce a phantom sound causing confusion. So certain, you might have seen in many Hollywood movies or in many other movies, a beep sound that can create a confusion, a state of confusion, and this can disorient the people. And physiological impact. So due to the exposure to the sound, the sonic sound, this beep sound, the opponent may experience nausea, vertigo, nosebleeds, vomiting, and sometimes they may even collapse. And operational capability. So this will disrupt the radar, communication system, missile guidance, and also the power grid. So simply, we are suspecting that this discombobulator, it will be using either sonic or directed energy to disorient the opponent's defense system. So the defense system, from the outside, the defense system will be looking very good, but internally the defense system would have damaged, and the sound produced by this weapon system also has the capacity to disorient the people. The people will experience nausea, vomiting, and other issues. And talking about the other capabilities, like I mentioned, it can disrupt the electronics system. It can support, the ultimate objective is it is used for the stealth mission. And talking about the weapon profile, so we can see that it is a combination of electronics, it is a combination of electronics and also directed energy or sonic system, and also some non-lethal disorientation tools. And talking about the prelims practice question, the question is with reference to discombobulator, consider the following statements. Statement 1, it is the US military's weapon system. Statement 2, it uses the combination of electronic warfare, ultrasonic energy to disrupt the enemy's defense infrastructure. Which of the statements given above is or are incorrect? So we are asking for what? Incorrect statements. Statement 1, option 1, option A 1 only, option B 2 only, option C both 1 and 2, and option D neither 1 nor 2. So we know that it is a part of the US military system. So the statement 1 is correct. It uses the combination of electronic warfare and ultrasonic energy, not ultrasonic. Okay, it is the sonic, not the ultrasonic. So the statement 2 is incorrect, while the statement 1 is correct. So the correct answer is, they are asking for the incorrect statement. So the correct answer is option B 2 only. Yes, with this we will move to the next article. Reserve Bank of India signs a memorandum of understanding with the European Securities and Markets Authority. The article is taken from Press Information Bureau. So we know that on this 27th January, the India and the European Union signed the mother of all deals, that is the India-European Union Free Trade Agreement after a decade-long negotiations. And in this event, the RBI, that is the Reserve Bank of India, after getting approval from the Union Cabinet, signed a memorandum of understanding with the European Securities and Markets Authority. So in this background, let us discuss more about this authority. So we know that in the case of India, we have an organization called SEBI, that is the Exchange and Security and Exchange Board of India, the institution which is taking care of the financial market of the India, right? The institution which is taking care of the stock market of the India. So similarly, for the European Union, they have an authority, that is the European Securities and Markets Authority, which was established in 2011, and it is headquartered in the city of Paris in France. And the nature, it is this organization, even though it is cooperating with the different institutions, it has the commitment with the various institution. This authority, this securities authority, is not owned by any country or any institution. Therefore, it is an independent European Union authority for maintaining the law and order inside the financial market of the European Union. And who are the members? It includes the national authorities responsible for security market from 27 European Union countries. And we can see that the objectives are investors protection, ensuring integrity, transparency, efficiency, and proper functioning of the financial market, maintaining the financial stability inside the financial market. So you might have heard about the certain terms in the stock market like bull and bear, so these are the people who are capable of influencing the stock market. the the status of the stock market. For example, Harshat Mehta was considered as a bull of the Indian stock market, because what was his modus operandi? He will pump the money into this stock market. He will make the market boom, and after reaching a particular stage, he will withdraw the money. So that's what happened, during the case of Harshat Mehta. So making sure that no person or no organization is controlling or taking the control of the financial market. So if that is done, then we can ensure the protection for the investors. Then we can maintain the integrity, law and order, and financial stability. And focus area, so it is also focusing on sustainable financing. For example, it is integrating, not just it is not considering the administrative aspect or the economy. It is taking care of the environmental, social, and governance factors to support sustainability and climate action. So the organization is supporting the climate action also, and also technology and data. So we can see that the supervision of the market is based on what? Data. So using the clear data, the organization, the authority is controlling the Europe or supervising the European Union's financial market. And talking about the important functions. So what are the important functions? Supervisory convergence. So like I mentioned, it is closely working with the other European Union's supervisory authority. For example, the European Banking Authority, European Insurance and Occupational Pensions Authority, like that. And it is beyond European Union, the authority is also cooperating with certain international bodies such as International Organization for Securities Commission, Financial Stability Board, and all. And to maintain accountability, it has commitment. This authority has commitment with the European Parliament, Council of European Union, and the European Commission. Okay, so that's all regarding the European Security Mark Authority. And coming to the prelims practice question, the question is: the Reserve Bank of India recently signed a memorandum of understanding with the European Securities and Markets Authority. What is the primary purpose of this memorandum of understanding? Why we signed this memorandum of understanding? Option A, to establish a joint venture for a new pan-European stock exchange in Mumbai. Option B, to integrate the Indian rupee into the European exchange rate mechanism. Option C, to facilitate the formal recognition of Indian central counterparties by European regulators. And option D, to allow the Indian banks to open branches across the European Union without local licenses. So the correct answer is actually option C, to facilitate the formal recognition of Indian central counterparties by the European regulators. So we can say that if this recognition is gained, then we can enhance the services to the European banking sector and other parts of the other financial areas of the European Union. So that is why this memorandum of understanding was signed between the India and the European Union. Let's check the answer. The correct answer is option C. With this, we will move to the next article. Why Supreme Court made menstrual hygiene a fundamental right and what schools must provide. The article is taken from Indian Express. So on 30th January of 2026, the Supreme Court of India, through a continuing mandamus. What is meant by continuing mandamus? Continuing mandamus, it is also known as structural interdict. It's a judicial tool used by the judiciary where the judiciary will not provide a final verdict or a judgment on a particular issue. Instead, it will provide periodic judgments based on the changes in that issue. So using this judicial tool, the Supreme Court of India on 30th January provided a historic verdict saying that the menstrual hygiene is a fundamental right. And the court also provided certain directions to the state. In this background, let us discuss more about this article. First, we'll start with a concept called menstrual hygiene management. What is mean by menstrual hygiene management? It is a practice of using clean absorbent material to manage menstruation. It also has rights, that is a right to change in privacy and accessibility to clean water, soap, and also accessibility to safe disposal facilities in the institutions. And why this menstrual hygiene management is important? Because a proper menstrual hygiene management is very important to reduce infection, the stigma related to the menstruation, the social stigma related to menstruation, and also in preventing the reduction of dropout rate in workplaces and also in schools. And talking about the menstrual hygiene and the constitutional right. So while giving this judgment, the Supreme Court of India highlighted a concept called substantive equality. What is meant by substantive equality? So substantive equality is the concept which believes that equal treatment will not always lead to equal outcome or a fair outcome. That means we can treat people equally, we can treat the situation equally, but that will not always lead to a fair outcome. So that means equal treatment alone is not enough to deal with the inequality. And absence of the menstrual hygiene management facilities will disproportionately affect the girl children, because it will reduce the dropout rate, it will reduce the attendance because of the forced absenteeism, and it will also reinforce gender related disadvantages. And we can see that the court, while giving the verdict, it also said that the menstruation must not hinder the education. A period should end a sentence, not the girl's education. So period means full stop. A full stop can end a sentence, but not a girl's education. So here the word period, it has a different meaning in this context. And talking about the second most important right, that's Article 21 of the Indian Constitution, one of the most important fundamental rights with a wide scope. So according to the Article 21 of the Indian Constitution, we know that it is a right to life and personal liberty, but it can be interpreted in various ways, because it includes right to act free, it includes right to clean environment, it includes right to clean and suitable path, and it also includes right to privacy, and it also includes right to live with dignity. So if a school does not have, or if an institution does not have a proper facilities to provide menstrual hygiene, then that will lead to what? It will violate the right to live with dignity, it will violate the body autonomy, it will violate the right to privacy, and it will also it will also prevent the freedom from humiliation. That means it will reinforce the gender related disadvantages. That means the lack of facilities is equal to lack of dignity and violation of rights. And the next is the Right to Education Act of 2009. So the section 3 of the Right to Education Act of 2009 says that free education includes removal of all barriers, any barriers that is hindering the education of a child. That includes lack of sanitary products and proper facilities in the education institutions. And the next is section 19 of the act also says that norms like separate toilets are substantive rights, ensuring equal opportunities for children, and the absence of the menstrual hygiene management causes gendered educational disparities. So the act section 3 and the section 19 of the Educational Act of 2009, Right to Education Act of 2009, talks about the importance of menstrual hygiene management. And coming to the certain directions given by the Supreme Court to the states. What are the directions given by the Supreme Court to the state? The first is accessibility to the free sanitary napkins. So the school has the responsibility to provide eco-friendly, biodegradable napkin free of all cost in all schools. That includes both private and government school. Mostly it will be more better if we can provide the napkins through vending machines in the toilet. So it will ensure more privacy. And the next is the focus on hygienic disposal. So hygienic disposal is also a part of what? Menstrual hygiene management, right? So installing safe, covered, regularly cleaned waste bins are very important for ensuring proper menstrual hygiene, right? And the next is ensuring functional toilets, because ensuring functional toilets are very important to provide privacy. It should also have other facilities like regular water, hand washing stations and all. And the next is establishment of menstrual hygiene management corners to provide additional accessories, support, and also more privacy to the children. And the next is focusing on destigmatization, very important, because you can see that the trauma that children experiencing at the school can hunt them for a lifetime. So that will severely affect the psychological balance. So destigmatizing the society, especially destigmatization of menstrual related issues, is really important. And there we have to educate on teachers, and we have to educate teachers, and we have to educate the the boys in the school, because it will the educating the boys and the teachers in the school related to the menstruation and the menstrual hygiene is really important to create a supportive environment in the school, and that is also very important for the psychological and mental health or psychological well-being of the children. Okay, and the next direction is the changes in the teacher training and curriculum. So we have to include the gender responsive curricula, especially we have to educate the children related to puberty and menstruation, so therefore that can be included in the curricula. And then we have to teach the teach the teachers. So a supportive a support from the teacher is really important, when children are studying in school. It is really important for both boys and girls, but in case of menstrual hygiene, it is the support from the teachers are really important for the girls. So training the teachers to create a supportive environment inside the school premises is really important. And finally, monitoring and feedback. So that means we have to collect the feedback, how the from the children, how they are treated in the school, how the rights are protected in the school. Are they psychologically okay? Are they facing any trauma, or are they facing any stigma related to their menstrual hygiene? All this related to all these issues, we have to collect the feedback from the children, and then we have to monitor the implementation of this of the education institutions. That means we can use the district education officers, so they can inspect the school, they can ensure that all the facilities are provided to ensure the menstrual hygiene in the school. So that such initiatives can be taken. And the next is the impact of this judgment. So now the menstrual hygiene is a fundamental right, and how it is going to impact. So the first is the impact on the education. So we can address problems like forced absenteeism, and it will also prevent to making this menstrual hygiene as a fundamental right. We can prevent the stigma related to the menstruation, and at the same time it is a path towards creating a supportive environment inside the education institutions, right? And the second is the dignity, protecting the dignity of the child, and inclusiveness. So like I mentioned, through creating a supportive environment, both men, that means both girls and the boys inside the school will have an equal opportunity. At the same time, they will have a fair environment. And the next is breaking the stereotypes. So through educating the boys, through training the teachers, through changing the curriculum, through providing proper facilities like vending machines and all, we are breaking the stereotypes related to the menstruation. And now we are going to see the mains practice question. The question is, examine the rationale behind the Supreme Court's recognition of menstrual hygiene as a fundamental right, and assess its impact on inclusive and gender equitable school education in India. We have already discussed the answer for the question. So you can write the answer and post it in the comment section. We will review and we will reply for your answer. Now it's time to move to the next question, next topic for the day. Okay, and it's a 15 marks question, and you have to write around 250 words. Write it and post it in the comment section. Now we will move to the next topic. So coming to the prelims focus, the first topic is Samp and Pension Portal integrates with the Umang portal. So the Samp and Pension Portal is now integrating with the Umang portal. What is the importance of this? So to understand the importance, we have to understand what is Samp and Pension Portal and what is Umang portal. So the full form for the Sampan is System for Accounting and Management of Pension. So the full form for the Sampan is System for Accounting and Management of Pension. So it's a portal launched by the Government of India to digitalize the entire pension life cycle. That means from the initiation to disbursement of the fund, everything related to the pension service will be digitalized using the portal, this portal. And it will also provide services like facilities to audit and address the grievance. And you can see that this portal was actually developed and operated. It is developed and operated by the Office of Controller General of Communication Accounts, and this was launched in 2018. So what is the objective? Bringing a pensioner-centric governance. Bringing a pensioner-centric governance. So now the pension through this portal, through this pension portal, the pensioner can get hassle-free pension-related services. Okay, so that is the objective of the Sampan portal. Then what is Umang portal? The full form is Unified Mobile Application for New Age Governance. So this is a unified platform which is available in the form of both mobile application and also as a web portal. And you can see that this was launched as a part of the Digital India initiative. And what is the objective? Providing accessibility to the citizens to all government related services. So through using this platform, we can access the government services That is the services provided by central, state, and also local bodies from anywhere at any time. Okay, that is the these are the features of the Umang portal. So now the Sampan portal and the Umang portal, they are integrating. So what will be the benefit? So it is, it is another step towards achieving the pensioner centric governance. Okay, it is another step towards pensioner centric governance. So here the pensioner will get easy accessibility to services like they can know their life certificate validity status, and they can know their pension payment order number using the mobile application, that is using the Umang mobile application or the web portal. And you can see that this platform is integrated with the DigiLocker, so that will ensure more transparency and efficient service. And you can see that what is the objective: improving accessibility to better information. That means, using this mobile application, even they are integrated. So using this Umang platform, now the pensioners can know the status of their application, like the pension payment order number and also the life certificate validity status and all. So this is another step towards the pensioner centric governance. So I hope you understood. And now we will move to the prelims practice question. The question is, with reference to the unified mobile application for new age governance, that is Umang platform, consider the following statement. Statement 1, it provides a unified platform to access services of central, state, and local bodies. Statement 2, it is available only as a mobile application and not as a web portal. Statement 3, it is a part of the Digital India initiative. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? So asking for the correct statement. Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 2 and 3 only, option C 1 and 3 only, and option D 1, 2 and 3. So from our discussion, we told that it is available as both mobile application and also as a web portal. So here the statement 2 is incorrect. So the correct answer will be option C 1 and 3 only. Let's check. Yes. With this, we are coming to the conclusion for today's prelims focus. With this, we are coming to the conclusion for today's current affair analysis. If you like the video, hit the like button, give your feedbacks as comments, and share this content with your friends. And before leaving this channel, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell icon to receive on-time updates from the academy. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for listening to me. Have a nice day.